For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin is the best. Listen up. NewsSpin is the best. Me say listen up massive. NewsSpin is the best, yeah. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show. All across the world. Check your signal, it blaze up the airwave. NewsSpin on your radio, hear me now. Tune in the frequency, come along, Junior. NewsSpin a vice up the place. NewsSpin is the best. Listen to the massive. NewsSpin is the best. Knowledge must abound. NewsSpin is the best. Fancy mound knock a play well. NewsSpin is the best. Papa Bond, yeah, by team, all man. A crappy land, all across the globe. Echoes of voices, we join in hands in hands. We joined in a flow. Harmony rising with the afternoon sun. Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show in the world. The true facts about Sophia volcano, Sandy Beach, banana and Sneem Mango. Voices from the chat room, the capital Castries Hills. We feel you warm Caribbean breeze. Teaching the truth, making hearts feel ease. Knowledge must open up every mind. Learn about your island home. We leave no one behind. NewsSpin on your radio. Pull up the volume, Jay. NewsSpin on your radio. Pull up your seats. Afternoon time. NewsSpin on your radio. Come along. NewsSpin on your radio. Let the message strong.
suggestions on how the Prime Minister should lead St. Lucia against the background of what is happening right now in the Middle East. Also coming up on this, the most monitored talk show in the world, St. Lucia records another homicide. All that and more between now and when we conclude the broadcast. Stand by. Your calls will be taken. You can call at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Jante already going through some of your comments in the chat room, and she'll be providing us with some updates. Don't forget to please like the video, share, subscribe to the NewsSpin YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. Here's hoping you're having yourself an enjoyable Wednesday. It's as if those things do not exist anymore in St. Lucia. And I'm talking about homicides. A few months ago, we'd record homicide after homicide, and the people would call this program to express their concern, their disgust, their dissatisfaction with what is happening. Now you record one homicide, you report on it, and people just move on to other issues. Maybe the people have become so overwhelmed right now that they are distracted. They no longer give priority to homicides. They would be forced to focus on water shortages, forced to focus on what is happening in the Middle East, among other things, and not put a premium on life. Life is absolutely important. And please, let us not allow ourselves to become like Jamaicans, people in Jamaica. Not that we want to stigmatize anyone, but the people in Trinidad and Tobago, they become so inured to violence and criminal acts and homicides. A fellow St. Lucian has been gunned down. Only 21 years old. And this incident, I'm told, occurred late last evening, and that is in the community of Ancillary. Police are conducting their investigations, and we are told that a number of people have been taken in for questioning. The victim has been identified as one Shondell de Turville, also known as Sonny. And we are at about 11 right now, the number of homicides recorded so far in St. Lucia. And that, for me, is alarming. 10 homicides when we're just into the third month of a new year. Let us not, as a society, and citizens, the police, let us not drop the ball. Let us not see it as a necessity to continue that required war against illegal guns and ammunition on our streets and in the hands of criminal elements. Let us bring great discomfort to individuals who want to dispense their own form of justice and not allow for there to be due process, for somebody to be arrested for a crime, for them to be tried, hauled before the courts. If found guilty, then they're made to pay a price. Let us not see it as a necessity for us to act on our own. Get an illegal firearm and snuff out the life of another individual. That is just too chaotic. And imagine if we're concerned right now, imagine how things can really get out of hand and the situation can be exacerbated. So, crime remains a major issue in our country. Let us not turn a blind eye to it. Let us not get comfortable with the occurrence of such forms of violence in St. Lucia. We are hearing from the Prime Minister of Dominica certain specifics regarding an MOU that was recently signed with the government of the United States regarding Dominica accepting third country deportees. So imagine somebody has been deported from the United States and Dominica is being asked to accept that person. But that person is not a national of Dominica. So Dominica, St. Lucia, a number of other countries in the Caribbean, they have said that they will, in principle, accept. St. Lucia is yet, in terms of the Prime Minister coming forward to explain the specifics or the conditions under which those people will be accepted. We have not heard anything, and we have to assume that maybe the United States and St. Lucia have not reached the stage where the specifics have been ironed out. But it appears as for Dominica, they have reached that point. Let us listen to the Prime Minister of Dominica speaking this week on this issue, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit.
The issue of on the acceptance of the refugees from the United States, we are we very soon will conclude negotiations with the United States government on the issue of accepting third country national into Dominica. The United States has proposed a maximum number of 7 people per quarter. So it won't be this significant number that people have been intimating. It will be 7 people per quarter. And so this is the total number of people that we would have at any one time. And of course, there are conditions on acceptance of those persons. What we have done in Dominica, and likewise some other OECS countries are also seeking to do the same, is that we've been engaging IOM. As you know, IOM is the organization that deals with migration. So they're assisting us in coordinating this matter and ensuring that we have the logistics in place. and they will deal with staffing if required, lodging, accommodation, for those persons that will be accepting.
Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerrit, every quarter, so 7 every 3 months. And somehow, those heads, some of them at least, have found a way to justify accepting those third country deportees. 1, we have a small population. 2, those people come with certain talents and expertise. 3, they're human beings just like us, part of the global community. But yet still we have a problem in accepting our brothers and sisters from other Caribbean community countries with similar skills, if not even more talented, and skills that are critical to our development in various areas. Take, for example, qualified Guyanese nationals. Long before Guyana discovered that they had oil, teachers serving in a number of areas, mathematics teachers, biology teachers, the sciences, and so on. People had a problem with Guyanese nationals coming to St. Lucia, Guyanese nationals going to other parts of the Caribbean because of stigmatization. We had a problem with Jamaicans coming to the other territories in the Caribbean. Haitians, we're talking about Haitians. No problem with Haitians. But now, we are so afraid of the United States and President Trump in particular, always kowtowing to them. 10 out of 10 saying yes. 10 out of 10 occasions, whatever Washington wants, Washington gets right now. including engaging in extrajudicial killings, not alleged, extrajudicial killings in our waters. And our prime ministers saying to us they don't know. They have not received any kind of information. They're just there, humbly, in a corner in Castries, just waiting to hear from Washington whether those people are actually nationals of St. Lucia. The circumstances under which this occurred. What are we hoping to achieve within the next, 3 years or so under this current administration? We're hoping to bide our time, take in the humiliation, humble ourselves to the U.S., and hoping that another pseudo-Trump does not return to the White House come the next presidential elections. The policy will not change if another Republican president comes in. For example, this Vance guy, if he returns, this Marco guy, if he is the vice president or if he is the president of the United States, the policy will remain. You might as well try to bite the bullet as early as possible as a united force, not allowing Washington to divide and rule you, inviting Kamala and the president of Guyana to have talks, and you're excluded. And then what would happen is an update would be given to the Caribbean community, a report will be provided to them. Why not unite? I mean, so many heads before that have always suggested that the Caribbean community should act in unison on critical issues. But those are fallen on deaf ears because those heads are primarily concerned about being prime minister. That's what they're preoccupied with, being prime minister and having the right to make their own decisions, irrespective of how this is proving so detrimental to the Caribbean community as a unit. And so Washington is playing one against the other. We have reached a stage where, think about it, no matter the fact that we have a number of countries are underpopulated, think about it. No matter us having, we need people with critical skills. Think about it. We are prepared to accept third country deportees. We don't know nothing about those people. The argument is Washington will be providing us with information, with a dossier saying that this is the guy is from Honduras. He is 45. He has a skill in this. He's some technician. He's some engineer. And we just accept it. Sending him along. We'll accept him. On what basis? And you, the people, you are not part of the decision-making process. You have never, ever been consulted on this. But you know what somebody will say? In the case of St. Lucia, the government has been elected into office with such a significant majority, 16-1, so you believe that gives the government on that basis the right to do as it pleases. It can determine, well, it wants to establish diplomatic relations with any country in the world. It can decide to accept third country deportees. It can sell passports to any citizens anywhere at all. It can decide to hand prime real estate, our beaches, to developers, and that's it. On what basis you think, in the case of St. Lucia, that the voters would have re-elected the St. Lucia Labour Party back into office December of last year? On what basis? And this is a rhetorical question. I will not venture to tell you why, because we have not conducted a study. We have not done the research to find out. We have not conducted a poll to find out why the people re-elected the St. Lucia Labour Party. But I could tell you that along the way, as a government presides over the affairs of a country, there are certain decisions that it will have to take that would warrant involving the people, getting feedback from the people. The fact that you got a majority, whether it's 1, 2, 15, or 16, does not mean that you can take whatever decision that you want in the name of the people. Now, sometimes through silence, you take this as acquiescence, that the fact that the people and certain leaders, certain officials have said that before. We took that decision and the people did not demonstrate. The people did not take issue with that decision taken. So let's take this as they gave us their blessings. But it's passing strange. It is very, very strange that without consultation, without any kind of discussion with members of the public in St. Lucia, that the government would decide through an MOU to agree to accept third country refugees, and the same for Dominica in the case of that Prime Minister Roosevelt's Skerrit. So you heard from the Prime Minister of Dominica. Harry is hoping very soon we'll be hearing from our own Prime Minister the conditions under which, if we have decided to do so, we'll be accepting those third country deportees. And under what conditions, what number of them would be accepted. In the case of Dominica, I just heard 7 people per quarter, every 3 months, 7. For you check it, we'll be having so many of those people over so many years in those Caribbean countries, then we will lose count. Let me hear from you right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Some information to share with you regarding developments in the Middle East. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says a U.S. submarine sank an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean with a torpedo. The Pentagon has released footage of the strike. Also, it's thought around 180 people were on board the Iris Dana. 32 were rescued, and Sri Lankan authorities tell the BBC 80 bodies have been found so far. And at the same briefing, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Kane says the U.S. will strike progressively deeper into Iranian territory. The UK sending a warship to the eastern Mediterranean after attacks on a British base in Cyprus, but it is not expected to set off this week. Meanwhile, Israel says it has hit security headquarters across Tehran, and a 3-day funeral ceremony for the ex-Supreme leader has been postponed. Attacks apparently from Iran have been reported in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, while Turkey says NATO defenses shot down an Iranian missile. Some information to share with you. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And in just a moment, I'll be turning my attention to Janti with some of your comments in the chat rooms. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, if these deportees are so qualified, just ask yourself, why doesn't the United States want them? 28 people a year forever, because it's obviously they are being sent here because their own countries are refusing them. Another WhatsApp message, and it says that, Tim, are these people deported to our country going to be given St. Lucian ID cards and passports? Let's leave that question for the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Another one, somebody says there, Tim, you're not paying attention to your statistician when he calls. A few weeks ago, we were at 10. 2 more murders makes it 12. Pay attention, sir. Well, we go into official information provided by the police. And I think as far as the police is concerned, we are at number 11, the number of homicides so far for this year. But as you said, we have our NewsSpin statistician. Somebody says we are way beyond 10 homicides. We have been at 10. I think I said 11. I think I meant to say, if I said 10, I meant to say 11. But anyway, somebody says, Tim, we are way beyond 10 homicides. We have been at 10 since mid-February. We are 13 or 14 right now, not counting the injuries, while the injured were still hospitalized or in serious condition. And let's see if we have some more of your messages, what you are saying there via WhatsApp. Just bear with me, trying to go through as many of your messages as possible. Somebody says, Tim, we need water in Piat for Christ's sake. I'm talking about water. The Prime Minister has been suggesting that the St. Lucian Society, people in St. Lucia, get into water harvesting. And I remember the argument then would have been, but we're in the dry season, it's not raining, how are we going to collect the water? All of a sudden, I don't know if the Prime Minister is clairvoyant, but we have had we have had some rain over the last few days. So I guess many of us can afford to collect some water. Somebody says there, good day to you, Tim. After the December 1st elections, the statement made was the people have spoken. Do you think that if the people had been told the truth, they would have re-elected this government? Is what you determined to be the truth? What is the truth? And when I think we have a call, let's try and take that call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Bonjour, frère.
Oui, bon après-midi.
What's up?
I'm okay. How about you, sir?
Oh, I'm alright, sir. Good morning, Amanda.
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 Ouais, t'as non.
Non,
un bout qui parle, believer, un bon Dieu, dit bon Dieu.
Les mots qu'on les orteils, moi, dit même pas là tout, Tim.
Ok. Gentil.
Les mots qu'on les orteils. Good morning, Gentil. Alright, Tim. Yesterday I was listening to you, Tim, and you said that the Prime Minister didn't say anything about the war in Iran and how it's going to affect us.
I did not say I did not say he did not say anything, and actually I played what he said. And what he said was, let's worry about things that are within our control. So you talk about the water harvesting and having the kitchen gardens and ensuring that we do not kill one another and the reckless driving and things of that nature. But he says what's happening in the Middle East there is beyond our control.
Well, I take that back. Tim. But I know one thing for certain, Tim, is that whenever an issue arises in this country again, the first excuse is going to be the war in Iran.
Yeah.
Or the war in Venezuela, supply chain issues. You understand what I mean? He's going to make it his excuse for every issue we have in the country. Second thing I want to ask, is the Prime Minister also going to grow what he eats and eat what he grows?
You expect me to answer? Huh? You expect me to answer for the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister says he has been doing the water harvesting. I don't know if the Prime Minister has a backyard kitchen. I don't know.
Okay, but in all fairness, all jokes aside, what he's saying, c'est Guamundo kon haïtien di koko he was. So
première fois moi ça.
Well, what he's saying makes sense because last time I was in St. Lucia, I remember when I was growing up, everybody had a little garden bed in their backyard where they grew like onions, green onions, pepper. Everybody had a little patch of cucumber. You understand what I mean?
And lettuce.
Yeah, those things are all gone, you know, Tim. Like I walk through the community I'm from. I walk through people's backyards, Tim, and it's pretty much, if it's not wild, like pretty much most of the places are empty. No one is actually trying to, you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Grow some vegetables to offset the cost of living. That's some solid advice by Mr. Pierre. I gotta take. I cannot take anything away from that. So I encourage the people of St. Lucia to start, as a person, I think someone called and proposed community gardening. That's something we do in Toronto also, Tim. You know, there's a garden somewhere in the park, and then you have tomatoes, people plant, and you know, when you're short on something, you come by and then you harvest, and it helps. It really helps, and it's a really good idea. So I just want to encourage my people to, good advice can come from anywhere. Let us not be naive and throw good advice in the garbage because we don't like the character of the person who's giving the advice. And you asked why the SLP won the elections then?
Yes.
Why the St. Lucian people would vote for the SLP again? Because the St. Lucian people are mildly stupid. You understand what I mean? And they are small in their thinking. They don't think grand. Everything, as we always say, Tibutik Tim. Tibutik. They like doing things that make them comfortable. They like staying within their comfort zone. No one really likes to step out and try something new, and you understand, out of fear of failure. You understand what I mean? I think that is why they got the people to vote for them. That, along with their money and their propaganda. But anyways, Tim, I'm gonna make way for somebody else. Big up Senior Rigobert, wherever you're there in the world, wherever you sit down, stand up, or lay down, sir. And one more question: when is Rick going to host the show?
Which show?
Your show.
But if it's my show, Rick can't host it. Rick has to have his own show. Rick has his own show, It's called Talk. He abandoned his own show. The man abandoned his own show.
No, age is catching up with him, Tim. I think the last time I heard him speak, I think he's having some mobility issues. But Tim, I think that
doesn't prevent Rick Rain from getting to the studios at DBS, because his brain is still sharp, and we know that. So that's what you need. He does not need any ability to walk and to run around the studio. That's not what's required. Put him to sit, and then he processes the information, he shares it with his audience, he has an interaction with them, and he has a good program going.
But in the interest of time, Tim, we need to hear a lot more from Rick.
Yeah.
In the interest of time, because Rick is, I may go before Rick, but Rick is not gonna be with us forever and ever and ever. Even though he lives to be 100 years, 120 years, it doesn't matter. For the interest of time, we need to pick this man's brain more often.
Agreed.
You understand what I mean?
Agreed, sir.
Yes. So I hope he's listening. And Rick, you have a great day, my friend. And you guys take care, okay?
Right,
bye,
Jante.
Bye.
Thank you so much for calling. Now, the most misunderstood person in St. Lucia is yours truly. So the fact that I did pose that question, remember I said rhetorically, why the people of St. Lucia decided to re-elect the St. Lucia Labour Party into office. It's a rhetorical question, meaning I don't expect me to provide you with the answers to that question. You have the answer. And I also venture to say that we have not conducted any study, we have not done the research and the polling scientifically to come up with a logical reason or reasons as to why the people re-elected the St. Lucia Labour Party into office. What you can do is to just guess. You can guess. Well, it was a competition between the two leaders, Philip Pierre versus Alan Chasney, and the people decided to re-elect the St. Lucia Labour Party on that basis. It could have been the messaging of the St. Lucia Labour Party resonated with the people, with the audience, with the voters more than that of the United Workers' Party. Could have been the machinery of the St. Lucia Labour Party was better oiled than that of the United Workers' Party. Could have been also, as far as the people of St. Lucia are concerned, the St. Lucia Labour Party did enough to warrant another opportunity to preside over the affairs of the country. Multiplicity of reasons. So I am not there professing to have the answers as to why the people of St. Lucia re-elected the St. Lucia Labour Party into office. So back. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
I want to make reference to your past caller. I have been taken aback.
Okay, caller. We could barely hear you. We want to hear you better. So speak directly into the phone, please, so we could hear you.
Oh, yes. I was saying the statement by the Prime Minister about
it has only improved a little better, caller. I suspect you're not speaking directly into the phone.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
The caller said the Prime Minister, giving praise to the Prime Minister for saying grow what you eat or you don't grow. That is something senators have been doing, but on what scale can someone grow food around them to provide for their family throughout the year? So I think there's no praise given to that statement. I think it's a ridiculous statement. That's one of the worst upgrades by a Prime Minister. What has the government done? What programs has the government put in place that we St. Lucians can feed ourselves? That's my contribution. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, how can you grow anything without water for irrigation? Yes, the advice sounds good. But back then, what we used to grow, our kitchen gardens, was readily available. It was easy. Water wasn't really a problem. Today, though, our soils are polluted and it's not as simple anymore. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Good afternoon to you, Jante. Let's find out what is happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, late on thick, Tim, some of our people are serious hypocrites. Another saying, will they tell us if these deportees are criminals? Because they will give the good in them but not the bad and the ugly. Shaking my head. Another YouTube comment reading, Shasney had to deal with COVID, so let the Star General deal with this. What do you think about the government introducing digital IDs and the mark of the beast? Moving to Facebook, our first comment reads, St. Lucia is dead. Shazi was a chief on reporting homicides. Why they not sending them to the bigger countries, referring to the deportees? We have a few comments reading, they don't have a choice. He's waiting for Trump to give him a call. What are the terms and conditions? 7 1/4 equates to 28 annually, which also means that Trump has 3 years left in office. So we're looking at 84 deportees over a 3-year period. And yet, we can't get any more information on the MOU other than what Skerritt said. We have another comment reading, I'm waiting for Washington to tell me when I will get water to wash my clothes. Another saying, is the government of St. Lucia making any plans to evacuate its citizens in the war zone in the Middle East? When these criminals realize our country is so easygoing on crime, what do you think they will do? Hey guys, come over here. We can rule this place. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, Renault is going to employ them on the St. Jude's project to speed up the commissioning. Knowing Trump, though they agreed to 7 per quarter, he can force them to take on more. A good functioning government should always support the people and consult them. If consultation does not happen, then they should be informed of decisions made on their behalf. Another comment reading, what about the missing container of drugs found at courts? Why the silence? What's going on now with the St. Lucia Labour government? They believe that the country belongs to them only. We need to hear from you as the Minister of Secretary Peep. We have another comment saying, these third country deportee situation sounds like punishment for bad CIP programs, flooding the US with unwanted immigrants. The refugees are so educated that the US is not keeping them, they are sending them to poor third world countries. Attending school at a young age, I learned the difference between an island and a country. So why is our Prime Minister at a regional conference referring to St. Lucia as a country? Doesn't he know the difference? Another news spinner said, Tim, how long will these deportees remain in the country? But they cannot blame Shas anymore, so now it's time to blame Trump. The Prime Minister is not doing chukum. We have more comments saying, to grow a backyard garden, you need water, lots of it. Just saying. $5 can block a whole mentality. So, when I help my daughter grow, does that mean I should eat her as well? Just asking. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you very much, Auntie, for this. We'll have some more updates from you during the course of our program. Another WhatsApp message, and it reads, if we keep voting emotionally instead of strategically, we keep getting emotional results instead of economic progress. Another WhatsApp message, Tim, what about buying local? What is it about always grow what you eat and eat what you grow? Is it because government doesn't care much about agriculture? And let's see there. Tim, how's countryman? Anyways, when will gas prices increase? And let's see if we have some more of your messages. Somebody says there, 452. Okay, we've lost. Don't have any more. Let's see. Let's take a call. Mr. Rigobert is online. Good afternoon to you, Pato. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon to me.
Yes, Pato, good afternoon to you. Jante.
The name is Jante. Yes. Right, yeah. Okay, good afternoon to you. And I want to say good afternoon to my friend from Canada and all other people, news spinners, everybody who's hearing my voice. I want to say a blessed good afternoon, okay? That brother never forgets me, always checking on me. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. You're calling the guy who called from Canada.
Right. Timmy, let me, before my English finish on me there. Tim, what do I Lani bagay, you can just polish ban nou. Ek yo pa ka just di nou manye ye avec adam moun kan just vale sa tout moun man. Zaten eat what you grow what you eat. It's easier said than done. Huh? Now, it sounds good, it sounds nice, and it's more healthy to eat what we grow. But how many people can afford it? How many people can afford it? There are people that live in town where they cannot grow much. You know, mostly people that will go from the country to plant the dash in the banana and all of those stuff. How will a single parent, maybe with 2, 3, 4 children, can go by the market and think you buy sweet potato or dashing to feed that them just for one week? You cannot do it, you understand? When people want to sell a dashing for $15, $20, a piece of yam for X amount, you understand? You cannot afford to buy. So they have to go and buy 2 pounds of rice. They have to go and buy the chicken backs if that's what they can afford, or the drumstick or whatever. When you go and you, to buy the same chicken that we are growing here, you know, $30, $40 for chicken. They are healthier, but how many people can afford it? That is the question that we should ask our own self when we hear anybody telling us, whether Prime Minister or whosoever, eat what you grow and grow what you eat. Yes, it is healthier, but can you afford it? That's the question. I leave it as that for this afternoon. Bless up.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. In the NewsSpin WhatsApp group, somebody says there, Timothy Poleon, so why those deportees can't get deported back to their own country? What is being suggested is that, for example, if those people are being persecuted in their own countries, they don't want to return there because there's a possibility that they can be killed through gang violence. There are gang leaders who want them dead. Maybe they're running away from certain things regarding their political affiliation, and they can be killed as a result. So that's why those people sometimes would opt to go to a third country, a country where they were not born. And I'm told that in such instances, the people who are being deported to third countries, they are being given a choice. So they'll be told whether they want to, an option, whether they want to go to a country, let's say in Africa, or a country in the Caribbean, or a country in Central America, and they would go on to identify that particular country, appear before a judge, an immigration judge, and then that judge would make a determination as to which country they should be sent to and whether that country would want to accept them. And that's where the agreement comes in, with all those countries having agreements with the United States. So the U.S. has agreements with countries in Africa, with countries in the Caribbean, Dominica and St. Lucia and so on. And they would be making a determination as to which island or which country will accept those individuals. So it's on that basis a determination is being made as to which country they should be sent to, and that's why very often those people cannot go back to their original country or their native land. So that is what I have been told through my discussions with certain people who are very close to this particular issue. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. Lubeco's Independence Head and Shoulders sale is here. From beds to pillows, sheets and towels, enjoy unbeatable deals. Buy any 2 same-size towel, get 1 free. Buy 1, get a second 50% off on print sheets and pillows. Amazing deals on factory seconds, mismatched bed sets, bedding accessories, and much more. Sale started on February the 25th and it ends on March the 7th, 2026. Visit Lubeco's locations in VA4 and Vidbouteille at the American Dry Wall. Opening hours, weekdays, VA4 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Vidbouteille 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Lubeco, they opened on Saturdays and Sundays for your convenience. Vidbouteille from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and VA4 from 8 a.m. to noon. Sleep better. Save bigger.
What happens when the music is stripped down to the truth? On April 29th, First National Bank presents the Teddyson John Experience at the luxurious Royalton Resorts. Raw vocals, live music, real emotion, an intimate night where Teddyson John opens the heart of the music. Also from Trinidad and Tobago, featuring Nyla Blackman. From St. Lucia, Michael Robinson. I'm gonna make you mine. Herb Black. I'm so sorry. Umpa. That's one thing you know. And Ricky T. Sharing their stories behind the songs and connects with you up close. This is more than a concert. It's a feeling. Stripped, April 29th. Royalton Resorts, limited seats. One unforgettable night. It's definitely my type of night and my type of vibes.
Tickets for this event are $100 USD. Food and drinks inclusive. Ticket locations: Anthony's Jewelry, Castries and Baywalk, The Wave, and online 4circlestickets.com.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with Lucelect. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit Lucelect.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with Lucelect.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbouteille at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay,
for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow FastPay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow FastPay. Flow FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexar, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. We continue with your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And also still to come, some more updates from Jante. Peter and Company Auto is doing it again. Big sale on automotive parts. Get ready for massive savings with discounts up to 75% on selected parts. Don't miss this chance to stock up and save big. They opened Mondays to Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Fridays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. You can call at 758-450-6950. That number again, 758-450-6950, and grab your deal before it's gone. Peter and Company Auto, driving you forward. All right, let's see there. Countries that the U.S. has agreed to accept deportees from include those countries have accepted to accept deportees from the U.S. They are Rwanda. They have accepted up to 250 deportees. They have agreed to accept up to 250 deportees. Eswatini has accepted flights from the U.S. South Sudan also agreed to accept deportees. Ghana, they participated in the program. Uganda has also accepted deportees. Costa Rica, El Salvador, Mexico, and Kosovo. And very soon, it appears, St. Lucia will be doing likewise. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. WhatsApp message, it says there, the biggest threat to world security is the U.S., not Russia, not China, and not Iran. America is the only country in the world that is being threatened by a country thousands of kilometers away from them. America is the world's biggest dictatorship and bully. That's according to a WhatsApp message. The other one says, Tim, why should we accept deportees from the U.S. who are not natives, who are not born in St. Lucia, when the U.S. has all the resources to accommodate them, including health care, social services, etc.? Who is bearing the cost of accommodating them, and what's in this for St. Lucia? That's a question we should be posing to the government of St. Lucia, in particular, the Prime Minister. Another WhatsApp message says them, Tim, they did a drive-by shooting in Sarot last night. Okay, we reported on this earlier on. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Tim, I really don't like to hear St. Lucians calling St. Lucians ignorant. I think you should stop them when they do that. Well, I can't do that. And you can't be... You see, people don't understand the meaning of words. Let's say that, boy, you're ignorant. You're ignorant of something. Okay, you're not armed with the facts surrounding certain issues. And on that basis, you are ignorant when it comes to that particular issue. So you decide that you're going to vote for a political party, and the information on the basis, the information that you have or that you chose to utilize to vote that government or that party into office, that information is flawed. So you are ignorant of that. Okay? And you can be ignorant of so many things. Ignorant of laws pertaining to robbery, pertaining to rape, pertaining to corruption. You might not know anything about the Integrity in Public Life Act, so you're ignorant of those particular issues. So please, don't take it personal. Somebody say, you are ignorant. You are ignorant of certain things. All right? Let's see if we have any more of your WhatsApp messages to go through. Again, while we are awaiting your calls. Let's see there if we have a message. Somebody says there, hi Tim, the more important question for me is, why are those persons being deported? What did they do? Could be that they have overstayed their visas. Could be they have been living in the United States illegally. Maybe they committed a crime. That is why I think in the case of the islands in the Caribbean accepting those third country deportees, they want to know why those persons are being deported, the nature of their crimes, and according to what we have heard from those leaders is that persons who have committed serious crimes, they will not be accepted into those islands, the likes of St. Lucia and Dominica and elsewhere. Somebody says, they will be interesting to know Shassi's views on this deportees situation. Leaders of the Caribbean are cowering, suspect he would have been in a similar situation. And let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, a nation cannot claim progress and continue with business as usual while its people live in fear. Leadership has to treat people's lives lost as an urgent call to action, not just another statistic. Silence and inaction is not leadership. This is a serious crisis. I think you're referring there to, if I'm not mistaken, the fishermen, the individuals in the boat who were killed between St. Lucia and St. Vincent. It almost appears that the government of St. Lucia is not anxiously looking forward to an explanation, or is not demanding an explanation from the U.S. Whatever information that has been provided to the authorities in St. Lucia, they have just accepted it, and they want the people to move on. The fact, and right now, based on what we have heard from the Prime Minister, those are individuals who have been reported missing. They've been reported missing. End of story. No due diligence. We don't want their bodies. We don't want to find out whether the DNA, processing the DNA and so on, we can determine whether it is Jack, whether it's Dora, etc. We just don't know. We have just moved on, and that is unacceptable. If those people are St. Lucians, I mean, they're part of our society, they're part of our country, part of our island. They have relatives who are grieving. I mean, let's say they're missing. The mother, the father of those people, the children, wives or girlfriends, sisters, brothers, they're grieving. So that's when you have to turn to your governments. That's when you hear from your foreign minister, you hear from your prime minister, has to provide you with words of comfort. And those individuals must be sufficiently curious, at least, to find out whether it's those people who have gone missing, whether they are the ones who perished in that kinetic strike. Because to ignore that problem means, for an eternity, if the U.S. decides that it does not want to communicate with us, does not want to provide us with any kind of intelligence or information on that particular incident, then we just accept it. And those people will be missing for an eternity. And that is unacceptable. That is not good governance. That is not looking after the interest of your people. That gives you no reason at all to continue to boast that you are an independent nation and to talk about sovereignty. What's that message? Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Tim, you goody, nice response on the ignorance. Well, it's a fact. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. And somebody says there, a worker from a utility company told someone in my community that if the pipes don't burst, they wouldn't have work to do. And several places you'll find them coming to dig and fix those places all the time. There are some men who have been doing the water harvesting. Can they come as a guest on your show to help teach our people on how the rainwater can also be used for drinking? Concerning the fishermen being bombed and killed, how can our Prime Minister expect to get evidence of what and why it happened? Since when do we wait on someone who commit a crime to give us evidence before we can arrest or deal with the matter? They are just letting things be handled by the same person who did the crime. So why are we not dealing with our solutions like that? Once the police see you pull up a place, they're already giving you a ticket. Even though the person is on their way to going and pay for their sticker on their vehicle, police are still giving them a ticket. Solutions, let's wake up and see what is happening right in front of us. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says that, good afternoon, Tim. With the Prime Minister suggesting that we grow what you eat and eat what we grow, is it just me who has realized that eating habits have shifted lately to include processed food like macaroni, ramen, Irish potatoes, rice, etc.? We Lucians don't even want to eat ground provisions. A typical example would be opening a child's lunch kit or lunch bag during lunchtime. Any ground provision, local vegetable in there, more like ramen, well, we have to grow up. Processed foods, not good. Another WhatsApp message. Majority of the deportees, the U.S. have no information on them. They didn't come with any ID cards or any personal information. Let me turn my attention now to you, Shanti. Let's find out again what is happening in the chat rooms.
Well, Tim, starting off on YouTube, our first comment reached, poor job, Pierre, not his fault. He just got he does not have what it takes to do the job. Poor job, St. Lucia as well. No Fini. And Miss Shasne, St. Lucia would have been right on top. Thank you, Tim, for the ignorant explanation. Lucians don't know the meaning of a lot of words that they use. Another YouTube comment reading, we are being told to eat what we grow and grow what we eat. Are the deportees going to get land to grow what they eat? Moving to Facebook, our first comment reads, Tim, I disagree. It had nothing to do with the leaders. There's no comparison between the two leaders. All it was is the Labour Party paid for the votes. Nearly all farmers left the country and went to tourism. So what eat what you grow thing is this? Tell Philip J. Pierre to stop the useless slogan. We have a few comments reading, we are such a small island nation, we cannot take in any more problems. Trump does not linger, lol. Surprised he is taking so long to iron out ours. Hopefully he has changed his mind. People cannot even get land to build a simple shack, so where are they getting land to grow? We have another comment reading, none of these Caribbean leaders are telling us about the money that they will be receiving from the US for this project. PJP cannot diversify agriculture. Trump is diversifying St. Lucia's population. Miroro. When I come home now, instead of breakfast and saltfish, I will be eating tortillas and tequila. We have more comments from our Facebook page reading, from time COVID hit, more people have been growing little things like lettuce, string onions, and peppers. Are these things enough to survive? The man even used the slogan in response to a question at a regional conference. How is that even normal? I believe the government should give people a piece of land to grow their garden. Another comment reading, Tim, we use the word in the wrong context all the time. The Minister of Foreign Affairs needs to answer Tim, not the rhetoric Prime Minister. Tim, the PM, is still waiting on an official statement. And we have another comment here saying, if a boat is sinking, the captain is the last person to leave the boat. If St. Lucia is sinking, PJP, as the captain, is the first to get out. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. Let's see if we have a call on the line. In the meantime, we have a WhatsApp message. It reads, the government must come out straight and truthful to let the people of St. Lucia know whether they are or have accepted deportees, and is going to be like taking St. Lucia to CCJ without consent of the people. Moi-même avec gouvernement Sala. That's according to our WhatsApp message. Another WhatsApp message, with all the snakes around these days, I propose tête chien and green fig, tête chien and breadfruit and avocado, tête chien and dumplings and guandlo. Those would be great new national dish and would allow us to eat what we grow and grow what we eat. That's according to our WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages. You realize this time around, during the new season of NewsSpin, what we are doing is going through as many of your WhatsApp messages as possible. We have ignored you for far too long. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, I agree with the Prime Minister to plant what we eat, but tell him, free up the land. Allow families to have at least a spot to plant. How will those in the city grow with no space? Sadly, not everyone will be able to grow or buy, but they in authority will be able to because they have land and money. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And there are solutions in Dubai. Question being asked by another person who sent a WhatsApp message. What is the government who has no control over anything doing about it? To me, PJP is throwing his hands in the air. So far, I think you've heard a number of countries speaking about their nationals who are stranded in the Middle East, Dubai, etc. I think Trinidad and Tobago, pronouncements by Jamaica. I don't know in the case of St. Lucia what can be done or what is being done. En passant, during the pre-cabinet press briefing this week, the Prime Minister made reference and concern about St. Lucians who might be stranded in the Middle East, but that was it. Just a brief statement that was made by him earlier on this week. So it's a case of see for yourself. You know what they say in Creole. Yeah, see for yourself. Let's see if we have any of your WhatsApp messages. Okay, in the meantime, somebody... okay, let's see a WhatsApp message. That's the time we need to turn to God. No matter which government that is in power, God is answering. All right. So we have a commentary, and that is on the water crisis that we are experiencing in St. Lucia this time, and it is by Jimmy Haynes.
Messieurs, Wasco di water is life, eh? Pligo blood qui Saint Lucie. That is their slogan, you know. Yet across St. Lucia, complaints about water scarcity are multiplying. On radio talk shows, across social media, and in everyday conversations, as more and more citizens report dry taps lasting days, weeks, and in some cases, even months. Paniglo, raising urgent questions about a system meant to sustain life, but increasingly proving unable to deliver it. What is unfolding at Wasco is no longer a technical problem or a temporary disruption. It is the cumulative effect of policy neglect, of weak governance, of chronic underinvestment, and political avoidance converging on the most basic service a modern society must guarantee its people. Across this island, particularly in the north, prolonged outages have become normalized. And this is not an intermittent supply issue. It is systemic failure. Families are forced into unsafe storage practices, dependence on truck water that is so expensive, and daily uncertainty, all while they continue to pay for a service they do not reliably receive. Wasco's infrastructure tells the story plainly. Much of the pipe network is decades old and runs directly beneath the road surface. Breaks and leaks are frequent. Excavations are constant. Constero. Roads are damaged and too often left poorly restored for months. Most times even years. Come to La Pointe in Swazel, you see it. What follows is a familiar cycle. Dig, patch, fail, repeat. Dig, patch, fail, repeat. A pattern that weakens infrastructure, frustrates the communities and the commuters, and steadily increases long-term costs. And at the same time, the utilities hemorrhaging treated water. Millions of gallons already abstracted, treated, and pumped at significant expense are lost through leaks and inefficiencies. This is water that could be sold, revenue that could be reinvested, and resilience that could be strengthened. But instead, it disappears underground, leaving the system poorer and even more fragile. Nothing has undermined public trust more than the dredging surcharge tied to the Roseau Dam. Introduced in April 2013 as part of a 66.15% water rate increase. Let me repeat that. 66.15% water rate increase. 10.43% of that is every customer's bill was explicitly allocated to dredging. And that charge remains in place jusqu'à toujours. Nearly 13 years later, the dredging has not been complete. Millions of dollars have been collected. Results remain unclear. So I ask you, is it finished? Is it in process? Did they start? Dredging. A project base fee that persists indefinitely without delivery stops being a solution and becomes a breach of trust. At the center of this stagnation is governance. Senior managers and board members are appointed through political discretion, with little evidence of a disciplined effort to select individuals capable of turning around a distressed utility. Wasco does not need caretakers, It needs leadership with the experience and independence to confront the failure that it is, to execute large-scale renewal, and to restore credibility. Instead, political insulation has too often produced caution, opacity, and drift. Now, this crisis cannot be laid at the feet of a single administration. Government after government has avoided the scale of investment required to modernize the water system. Pipe replacement has been deferred, system-wide renewal postponed, resilience traded for short-term fiscal comfort. The cost of that avoidance has not vanished. It has been transferred to households like yours and mine, and to businesses like yours and mine, and to the wider economy. But that contradiction becomes starkest in tourism policy. You see, while the country expands hotel capacity and accommodates a rapid growth in the Airbnb sector, it does so on a water system already struggling to meet domestic demand. Tourism, often cited as contributing more than 60% of our GDP, when direct and indirect effects are combined, is inherently water intensive. Yet expansion of that sector continues without a publicly articulated and costed national water plan. How smart? In practice, residents and visitors are now being placed in silent competition for water. Tourism facilities equipped with storage and trucking options are positioned to secure supply, whereas ordinary households are not. Expecting an already strained utility to absorb unchecked tourism-driven demand is not planning. It's insanity. It's a recipe for scarcity, if not a recipe for disaster. The consequences are already visible, you know. Dry taps all over the country, damaged roads all over the country through Wasco, rising household costs, and a public steadily losing confidence in the institutions meant to serve it. Water scarcity is no longer a future risk to be modeled. It is a present condition shaped by years of deferred decisions. So if this country is serious about development, and if this government is serious about development, then water security must be treated as a non-negotiable national infrastructure. That means sustained investment in Wasco, large-scale pipe replacement, aggressive reduction of water loss, diversification through rainwater harvesting and desalination, and governance reform that prioritizes competence over convenience. Without those choices, water is life will remain aspirational rather than real, and daily life will continue to grow harder for the very people expected to keep paying for a dumb system that no longer delivers what it promises.
A commentary by Jimmy Haynes. I think what I've been subjected to over the last few weeks by the Prime Minister in sophisticated language is what you call a stratagem. A cleverly contrived trick. When he says that we should do more water harvesting and giving the impression that is the panacea for the water crisis that we are experiencing right now. And let me say again, and I've said it before, that people in St. Lucia have been at the mercy of Wasco for decades. And they, as a result, have engaged in water harvesting long before that. Naturally, people have decided that they have collected water from their drains over several years in most communities around St. Lucia. Visit those communities, you have drums with water. That's why personnel from the Ministry of Health would visit various communities around the island. I don't know if you can remember that. Maybe they have stopped. And to check to see how you are conserving water around your home. You remember that? How you are conserving water inside of your home. And to guide you, provide you with the right practices as to how you should be utilizing that resource in your home. The Prime Minister is trying his utmost to get Wasco off the hook. His utmost. Wasco is your sole entity to provide us with potable water, meaning water that is treated so that you can consume, so that that water is healthy, so that you do not become sick. There are certain responsibilities that resides within the state. The state has a responsibility to provide you with treated water, potable water. You can add, you can assist by collecting your water, yes. But this whole thing about asking people, making it appear, giving the impression that that is the answer to the water crisis right now, certainly that is unacceptable. That is creating a false impression that will not assist in the national development of our country. Speak to the hotel owners and they'll tell you for years now they have been undertaking various means. They have been doing certain things, undergoing certain practices so that they do not rely on WASCO for water to water their plants and to flush their toilets and things of that nature. WASCO has woefully fallen short as far as fulfilling its responsibilities in the development of the country when it comes to providing a reliable service to the people of St. Lucia. This is at the heart of the problem. I think the citizens, ordinary St. Lucians, have been more efficient at collecting water, collecting rainwater over several decades than WASCO itself has been in terms of collecting that same water so it can treat and provide to the people of St. Lucia. This is not taking anything away from the Prime Minister when he speaks about water harvesting, but that's old. That has been tried and tested. In the main, the people of St. Lucia should be given credit for having gotten involved in water harvesting over several decades now. The onus, the focus should be on the water and sewage company. For whatever reason or reasons, if it lacks the resources, if it lacks the personnel, provide WASCO with what is required, ensure that they can be held accountable for the investments that we'll be making over the next few years, and ensure that they become more efficient. It is not fair to give the impression that what you're saying right now, the advice you're giving, is that it's so novel, unheard of, this whole thing about water harvesting. The people of St. Lucia have been doing this for a very long time, and they should be given credit. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Peter & Company Auto is doing it again. Big sale on automotive parts. Get ready for massive savings with discounts up to 75% on selected parts. Don't miss this chance to stock up and save big. They are opened Mondays to Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Fridays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Call Peter & Company Auto at 758-450-6950. That's 758-450-6950, and grab your deal before it is gone. Once again, they are opened Mondays to Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Fridays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Peter & Company Auto, driving you forward.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastors Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, casting sand and plastering sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
La Clinique de Corps leads the Caribbean in advanced MRI, aligned with globally recognized standards. Avoid overseas stress, delays, and cancelled scans. Reports in 24 to 48 hours. No translation, no overseas processing. Your doctor receives your imaging directly for seamless continuity of care. All major insurance accepted. Call 451-6559. Once again, 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. The WhatsApp number 721-9950.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
Yeah, man. Great job, guys. I love it.
Yeah, man. You see how the place starting to look nice?
Not just nice. This STEP program creates a safer and healthier community for all of us to live in. CIP is doing so many good things in the communities and providing jobs for us. It's a win-win for everyone. I am the I in CIP.
I am the I in CIP. It's about our citizenship by investment program.
It's in the feeling in our weak side. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are. Cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping. Together going strong. No matter what, we keep things flowing. The people, we will go all in. Our hands up in the sky. Celebrating. Come let your rhythm flow.
The Roadhouse experience awaits. Crave something real? Get ready to experience the ultimate destination for unforgettable memories. The Roadhouse experience. Feast your senses with exceptional service, all under one roof. From our classic restaurant and bar to our exclusive private nightclub. Unwind at our elevated hookah bar. Gather in our versatile conference room for any event, or even shop at our variety store. Ditch the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Rat Roadhouse promises real vibes, real fun. Nestled in cul-de-sac along the Bexar Highway. Call us at 286-6249 for more information.
Lucelec's remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, or send an email to customersupport@lucelec.com for assistance. Call 457-4433 to get bill balances. Use myaccount.lucelec.com for detailed account information and to make online bill payments using a credit card or debit card or online bank account. Customers may also take advantage of SurePay's online or walk-in service. Lucelec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
So, good afternoon to everyone, including the Marcos. Yes, the Marcos.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Lubeco's Independence Head and Shoulders sale is here. From beds to pillows, sheets and towels, enjoy unbeatable deals. Buy any 2 same-size towel, get 1 free. Buy 1 and get the second 50% off on print sheets and pillows. Amazing deals on factory seconds, mismatched bed sets, bedding accessories, and much more. The sale started on the 25th of last month, ends on the 7th of this month. Visit their locations in Vidbouteille and Vieux-Fort, and in Vidbouteille it's at the American Drywall Building. Opening hours, weekdays, Vieux-Fort 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., Vidbouteille 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Lubeco, they opened on Saturdays and Sundays for your convenience. Vidbouteille from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Vieux-Fort from 8 a.m. to noon. Sleep better, save bigger. So still to come, we have our NewsSpin news of the day, the NewsSpin question of the day. We have a final call, and now the final update from Jante. Good afternoon to you again, ma'am.
Afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, is the government keeping an eye on this war going on? If so, are we prepared for any possibilities? The PM's latest slogan, eat what you grow and grow what you eat, is another smokescreen for the SLP's total lack of strategic planning for the agricultural sector. Another YouTube comment reading, are we going to change the St. Lucia national dish, Tim? Because the last time I checked, saltfish is imported. We didn't even have to suffer for saltfish if we had to grow our own, because we can start making our own. But how is that going to happen when our fishers are scared to go out? Millions of gallons treated and pumped water are being used by all hotels to flush toilets and fill swimming pools. Why didn't hotels have their own desalination plan for flushing toilets? Moving to Facebook, our first comment read, Tim, the deportees are at the door and still PJP knows nothing about that. Tim, you know everything will go up, especially gas. In times of crisis, leadership matters. The world is in crisis and the leadership of our country is inefficient. We have a few comments reading, too much of the starchy food isn't healthy as well. Starch when broken down turns into sugar. PJP has already told us this is a very difficult time to govern, probably implying do not expect much from his government to anything about the crisis we are facing. We have another comment reading, only guava I can grow now, Pip. So it looks like I will starve. When coming out of what exactly came out of Wasco's general meeting on Monday? Shah started dredging the dam and this new government stopped it. We have more comments from our Facebook page saying, and you're telling me that our government is delivering so well that election results were 16-1 with all of these issues? PJP is good in slogans, but he can't do anything about the MOU. Tim, it's not Prime Minister, it's wrong minister. Another comment reading, people need to look out for each other, but you guys always put politics above all. Say it louder, Tim, for the ones at the back to hear. But I heard people say that a loan was given to Wasco in the amount of $6 million to help with the works on the line for the north. We have another comment saying, St. Lucia, I see pit toilets coming back. Wasco will take the money to sponsor jazz and or carnival. Amen, Tim. Wasco management really has to go. St. Lucians stand up and demand that they make that change. Another NewsSpinner saying, people need to clean their houses and roofs so when rain comes, you can fill up every container. Well said, Tim. PJP believes that if he calls on Wasco to do more, he would be exposing the inefficient square pegs he has in round holes at Wasco. Tim, can you believe the police commissioner told the criminals that he's coming for their assets? Why exactly would you do that? You're sending them a message by doing so. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much for that final update. WhatsApp message. When fishermen are missing, the response should center compassion and clarity. Instead, we heard, even if you ask me, I have nothing more I can tell you, or however he phrased it. This lacks empathy and sends mixed messaging. Was it drugs or fishing? So many questions left unanswered. Was it them? Were they carrying drugs, etc.? Prime Minister does not inspire confidence with those press conferences. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message as we're getting on set to conclude our broadcast. Somebody says there, the Ministry of Transportation needs to look into those dark tinted of vehicles. This is dangerous smuggling a human being and no one can see this person in a vehicle. This should be looked into. It's as dangerous as bright lights on the vehicles. Let's see there if we have any more of your WhatsApp messages. No, we don't have any. Let me turn my attention now to our NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day reads, why are murders no longer an issue in St. Lucia? Why are murders no longer an issue in St. Lucia? Posted on our NewsSpin Facebook page, and no doubt you could provide your responses to that questions there. The NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, U.S. turns up heat on Venezuela with threat to indict new leader Delcy Rodriguez. U.S. turns up heat on Venezuela with threat to indict new leader Delcy Rodriguez. That's the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye, be safe, and join us same time tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. Goodbye.